Good morning, guys. Welcome back. We're to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be picking up exactly where we left off. So, in the last video, we took care of a bunch of the mess inside of the truck. We got the sub-wiring removed from the truck. And you can see here, I've already started relocating it. I ran into a snag here, and I was taking a little bit of a break, and I started editing the video, the last video, and it was going to be over an hour by the time it was done. So I went ahead and cut it, and we're starting here. But I will put the footage from just the last 2 hours or so in here. And let's get to work. Alrighty, guys, so it is the next day here. And we're going to pick up where we left off last night, and that is with the wiring. So what I want to go ahead and do is get this back up in here, get it ran down and through down here where we need to be. And then when my grandpa gets home, he's got some grommets somewhere, or he thinks he does. He should be home here in a bit. But I don't know where they're at, so he don't really know where they're at, and I don't either. And I'm not just going to look for them. So we'll get that when he gets home. But y'all seen last night, made a little pilot hole there. And I'll also show y'all where that corresponds on the inside of the truck. So we're going to go ahead, get our wiring all ran and down in the wheel well here. Get it connected back to our battery cable. I'd like to or redo this sometimes, but I at least want to get our wiring back in our little fuse connector thing. So we'll get that, and also I need to hide all this wiring again because we pulled all that out yesterday. So I'll get that taped back up, get it hid again, and then we should be good to go on that. Alrighty, guys, so I got that ran up through. The rest is down here, but ran right through there. So that's where we're going to be running into the cab. But now we can come up here. I don't want to knock that off. But we can come up here and start working on getting all these wires tucked up and put away. So I'm thinking, I guess that's the neighbors. Anyway, what I'm thinking is I might pull this battery box out and see if we can run everything behind and come up through here for the sub-wiring. Make it nice and clean, you know. And we do have some space in there. So I might pull this battery box out, see what kind of room we're working with. But if nothing else, I can run it, see, I can run it up in here all nice, and we can get some wire loom and put it in. So anyway, I'm gonna get to work on that. This stuff here, if you're wondering, is for the sprayers in the hood, which we haven't put back in because the hood needs repainted, if you missed that. So the hood's going to get repainted at some point in time. I think this fender is too, because something never matched up with that. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I'm going to get back on this and try to pull this battery box out and see what we can do as far as running everything up in there. And then we can either find a place to mount our fuse or just kind of place it somewhere where it'll be up and out of the way, because you do still need to be able to access this. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to work and see what we can do here. Alright, guys, so battery box is out. Got this little thing kind of clips onto the back of it. I don't know exactly what it's for, but it goes into that T which, oh, I'm gonna say this for the air conditioner. So, I didn't want to mess with it, worry about breaking that vacuum line. So, I unhooked it from the battery box. But, battery box is out for 13 mils, and it just comes right out. Unclip that thing off the top of it, and there you go. So, I'm gonna play around and see how everything fits up with running this wiring down there, and then up and around, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so after a bunch of fighting and arguing with this washer tank, we got the wires tucked back behind here, run out down there at the bottom, and down and around into here. So now we can go ahead, put our battery box back in and check and see if everything's good. Right now, all these, you can still move them. That tells me they're not pinched, they're not in a bind or whatever. So I need to run our sub cable through here because on this truck, the positive for the battery is up here at the very front. So I'm gonna do that. Go ahead, stick our battery box back in, and then we can figure out what to do with our amp or our fuse. So there we are, looking much better. I like to move these that way they're not just hanging out here. And this wire doubles around. We can do something with that as well, but it's not noticeable unless you're looking for it. So I'm very happy with that. And then all we got to worry about is attaching that wire there back up. All this stuff will be covered with our little panel there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery box in and see what we're looking like. All right, so battery box back in, got that guy put back on where he needs to go. You can see the wires down there. Got our fuse wire on up, and I got him just stuck right here for right now. And I wanted to show y'all this before I put the bolts back in it, to show that nothing is in a bind. Is the bolt holes line up perfectly with this thing just setting right there. Need to push it back a little bit, but nothing's binding. Everything's out of the way. It looks nice. It makes me happy. And what I'm thinking is we can run this guy through here, down there like so, and mount him right here. So that's what I'm thinking with that. Of course it's moving because this is not attached, and he's just kind of free floating here. But I'm gonna bolt him down, and then we can figure out where we're gonna mount our fuse. Alright guys, so we have an issue. Seems this always has to happen. But I dropped a bolt for our battery box, and if you could guess where it landed, drop a comment down below. But it landed in the fan shroud. So I gotta get down there, figure out how to try to find that bolt. And also one thing real quick, if y'all are wondering what we did with the wiring for the pods, we wrapped them up here by the horns, and then I'm gonna throw some tape around the connections, one there and then one up here. So I'll throw some tape around those connections, get those nice and out of the weather. So got that. And up here, got our battery box mostly mounted. That was the bolt that I dropped down yonder. So I find that I'm gonna get this snugged up all the way. I didn't want to tighten those down here until I got these. That way it didn't pull the battery box over and maybe crack it or something. And then you can see here, free wire. So we'll get it over here where it needs to be, and get that guy mounted up. That way he will be not just loose and flopping around all willy-nilly. So we'll get that taken care of as well, and then hopefully my grandpa should be home. It's already dark, which is very annoying, but when he gets home, we'll try to locate a grommet and get that all situated. Alrighty guys, so got the battery box bolted in, except for that bolt back there, because I can't get my hands down in here. But anyway, I got our cable ran through here and set where I want to put it. So there it is. That's where it's going to live. Put a self-tapper in it right there. So as long as the self-tapper isn't too big and it runs all the way through and hits the battery, which it shouldn't. If nothing else, we can grind it down. But reasoning why I want to put it there is that way this cable that's on top of the battery cable, which I don't like, we can run it up into this loom right here and tie it in with these two here that run to the alternator and the starter. That way they're all in one unit. You don't have a wire sticking up off the top, and it should look pretty factory. So we'll still run it to one of them bolts. That way we don't have to cut this connector off. So we'll run it up to these bolts, but we'll run it down through the harness here, and that way it looks semi-factory. So I'm gonna go ahead, mount the this guy here, get him mounted right there, and it should look pretty good in there. So a little more like factory. And then as you can also notice over here, no more wires running everywhere, which also makes me very happy. So now this tube, which is down around everything down here, I'll stick it back off over here, get it out of the way, because it's not used right now. I don't want to remove it, but I'll unclip it like so, and I'll route it through the wires and get it down here. That way when we get our nozzles back in, we can go ahead and hook those back up. It'll be pretty easy and pretty simple. Alrighty guys, so I was editing the video here. It is the next day. I was working on the truck, and I'm not even finished for the day. Still working on some stuff up here, working on getting that relocated, but we're going to continue this video on the next upload day. So I'm going to go ahead and end this part of the video here. This will be part one, and also the last video for 2020, I believe. I don't remember that for sure, but I think it was, if I remember correctly. But anyway, guys, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in 2020. I really appreciate it. And the channel growth and all that stuff. Over 1,000 subscribers this year, and thank you to everybody. But we're not done here. Don't think the truck is, we're not stopping here. So now the goal is 1,500. So we're gonna see if we can get there. Right now we're sitting at 1,100. So we'll see if we can hit 1,500. Let's make a goal of before my birthday, April 6th. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna continue working on the truck. I just didn't want this to be like an hour-long video because it was like a 40-minute video, and we're not even finished. So I'm going to cut it here. And again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope everybody has a great day. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Alright, so got this mounted in there. What we did is drill a hole in it and took a push pin and stuck down in there, and then I took something, trimmed the top of the push pin off, that way it doesn't stick up. And if you turn it, it's flush. So pretty happy with that. And then like I said, it's not in a bind or anything. And also we can turn this and run this down a little ways, zip tie it back to these, and then take this end of our wire right into our fuse holder there. And then we should be good to go. So anyway, there we are. Here in a minute, we're gonna start drilling our hole for this down here and try to get that all situated. All right, guys, so we found, or he found, the bolt. It was laying on top of the harmonic balancer down there. So it's a good thing we found that. But we got our end back on our sub wire here. Don't forget these, because you don't want to take this back off if you don't have to. So now we can go ahead, thank you sir, and reinstall our fuse into the fuse holder here. Reinstall that, and it will seat in there just like so. And now we can take our other end and install it. Now this is not the most graceful thing in the world because it's attached here, but get it flipped around, line up your fuse, don't just shove this in here, and it will seat like so. Good to go. And now you can take your cover and put back on, and there we are. So I'll tighten that up. It's a little crooked. I'll get it tightened up where it wants to be, and then we can move this here. All right, so got that back in there straight. It's all good to go. It was pitched up a little bit. I'm trying to do that one-handed, but got that back in. It's good to go. Nice and tight, and should be waterproof. And then I got this flipped around here as well, so that should be good to go as well. Got it tight, and the battery cable itself, where it goes down, limits it before this. So if we have any issues, it's in the battery cable themselves and not our amp wire. So we're good to go there. And we should be able to put our battery in and get it tested. We're gonna have to get a new battery, so I might just go get a new one, throw in here. But I do believe that we're done under the hood, except for this. So I'm going to move all this stuff out here. And I was going to mention, you may not have this same setup. This come with a different setup, if I remember correctly. And we blew the fuse, and no, we lost the fuse. Couldn't find another one, so I bought that. But he is searching for a grommet to put in here, down here. And then if we get that, we know what size hole we need to drill, and also in the grommet to run our wire through. And then after that, we should be finished up here. Alrighty guys, so I'll show you all this stuff up under here. We were looking for a grommet. We don't have one, so we're gonna run and go grab one. But this looks much nicer up here, so I'm very happy with that as well. But we're gonna run, go grab a grommet and go eat, because it's already 9 o'clock. So hopefully AutoZone is still open. It's not 9 o'clock, it's almost 9 o'clock. Actually, let me turn this light on. Back on. Gonna go grab a grommet, grab some zip ties, and then I will catch you guys back here tomorrow, and we'll get back to work on the white truck here. Alrighty guys, so it's a couple days later and we are here at Napa. I'm going to try to get some different grommets because I don't know if that one that we got would work. We was in here yesterday and seen some, but we was in a bit of a rush. So we're going to go in here, see what we can find. And then while we're in Conway, we're going to go get a battery as well. But that'll be in a different video, depending on how all these schedule out. But we're going to try to get the first drive in sometime this weekend. But anyways, we're running here, see what we can find, get back to the house, and get back to work. Alright guys, so we just got back from Napa. Sorry it's dark in here. Being that it rained yesterday, the lights here won't work. So I need to turn the LEDs on. But we picked up these 3/4 inch grommets. So we're going to see if our wiring here will go through these and not have a ton of slack. And if so, we will drill our 3/4 hole and we'll get these installed. So just over, well, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch outside diameter. So we'll figure out what we need to do with these. But first, let's see if they'll fit. Alright, so slip this on as a tight fit through here. But still a good bit of play for that. So we'll probably just hit it with some sealant and we should be fine. Get that nice and sealed up. But anyway, so that's that. So we're going to go ahead, figure out what size hole we need to drill in here, down there, and get that drilled, get that grommet in, and then we can start sealing that up. And also, I did order new fender liners, so when those get here, we'll get those installed. Alright, so drilled a 3/4 hole with a step bit on the drill. Got it set up in here. We are going to have to seal this off, and we're going to try to figure out some way to attach the wire back. That way it's not just kind of flopping. But we got it run through into here. And you can see it comes down through here. And when we set this back in place, you'll be able to see it. But we're going to seal that up inside and out. Get this piece set back, and then get this run down into the channel here and back to where it needs to be. So it'll set down just like so under there, and we'll run it back here like it was before. All right, so we got some silicone on that. We can clean it off of this piece here. We can clean it off of there later. It's got enough dirt on it, it's not going to stick. But we got these little clamps. We've had them for a while. We got these when I originally did my underglow. Kind of the ghetto way of doing underglow. But I got these back then. So what you do is wrap these around your wire. Take a self-tapping screw or bolt, run through there, and it sandwiches and attaches. So this is what we're going to use in there. Just got to pay attention not to put your bolt through something on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. We might even attach it to the pinch weld up in here. We might do that as well. We'll have to see how all that works out. But there we are. So after we get this situated, I'm going to get back in the truck and start running that back through to the rear, and then we can start putting all the interior back in. All right, so he Mr. Magic Mechanic got our hole here. What we did is ran the wire down the pinch weld over and in. That way, from here, I mean, all you can see is that little bit. So what we're gonna do, so he's got some regular, just RTV silicone, ultra gray, same difference. Seal this up, and we might do it on the inside, I don't know. But while he's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead, hop in here, and get this ran down, throw up plastics, and back. That way, we'll be ready to hook our amp up and start putting the interior back in. Alright guys, so I got wire run down through, got the kick panel back on, got this door seal plate back on. Gotta find the other one, it run off, but got it run back behind here. You might can see it. I'll pop this off. Yeah, everything runs nicely back behind. My grandpa's gonna go grab a shop vac link vacuum this thing out again. Cause this little vacuum, it just pushes dust. You can see there. That's from vacuuming the driver's side. It just pushes dust from one side to the other. Just blows it out the back. So he's gonna grab the big one we have. I didn't even know we had another one. We're gonna vacuum this out again before the seats go back in. But that's that. And also, while I was working on that, let me grab the driver's side kick panel, put it back on. But while I was working on that, he got that up there sealed up, and also he got this side all tidied up as well. So now if we look, no wires. They're all nice tied up in there. So now you don't see no wires. This is AC stuff, if you're wondering. But anyway, I gotta pop this kick plate back off, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back in. But stuff like this, guys, is, in my opinion, what sets most people off from professional to, you know, slap it together in an hour, call it good. You know, stuff like running that through the door seal, just zip tying wires up over here, you know, all that is what I think separates, you know, like the old saying goes, the men from the boys, I guess. But anyway, there it is. So get this finished up. You can see there, looks pretty good. So anyway, guys, oh, I was gonna show you all this pile of wire too. It's pretty impressive, really. But we got a pile, yeah, over here. This is everything that come out of the white truck. So it's pretty impressive, really. But we got all this relocated. All this looks good. You can still see the wire right here. I want to relocate this sometime, but it's not an issue. I just don't want to see it, or the zip tie hanging out here. So anyway, we got all this relocated, all nice. We got our fuse mounted down here. Everything looks good. I'm happy with everything. We need to tie that up sometime, but that's not really a big issue. So we'll get that taken care of. But as y'all seen, we got a new battery. That'll be another video. But we're finished up here. So got all this stuff hidden. Like I said, I'm very happy with how everything has turned out. All you can see here, just that little bit of wire. So when we get our fender liners in, I got those in actually yesterday. So when we get those, we got to take the flares back off to put those in. We got to get some clips, get some screws, and then we can put those in. And then all of this will be much cleaner. But we're going to continue put the interior back in, but that'll be another video as well. So anyway, guys, that's going to be our wrap for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, drop a like and comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope everybody has a great day.